Guys, today I want to share here with you guys a psychological secret that I learned from Marcelo Garcia to win tournaments. So guys, I think everybody always wonder what the champions are thinking when they're going to compete, right? What goes in the mind of the very best guys when they're going to compete? And there is one thing that I learned from Marcelo that he taught me that helped me a lot to win all the tournaments that I won. The double gold in the open class, in the black belt in 2015, double gold in the Pan Ams, and a lot of things. And there was one thing that Marcelo taught me that was kind of like a game changer for me that I want to share here with you guys, that I think it's going to help you a lot as well. So guys, as soon as I moved to New York City in 2013, I was already world champion in Jiu-Jitsu, and Marcelo told me one strategy that he used that was a game changer. So he told me that every time he would go to compete, especially after he became Marcelo, he had this thing in his mind that was like, everybody's kind of afraid, right? They saw all the highlights, they saw all the videos, they saw all the things, and everybody's kind of scared to fight against him because he was winning everything. So he would always start every match and try to attack his opponent since the very beginning as much as he could. Almost like doing crazy things like the flying guillotine or arm drags or anything he could as soon as he could. Because in his mind, he wanted to avoid the fact that, for example, if someone pulls close guard and then you go to the person's close guard, you were there, they start believing that they can beat you. Because they have you on their close guard, they touch you, and they feel like, oh, he's a regular human, you know, like I can beat him. But if you start the match and right away you go after the opponent and you try to attack him as much as you can, the opponent start thinking like, oh my God, it's worse than I thought. So it's much worse than I thought. And I think like, especially when you are winning tournaments, when you go compete, everybody is kind of afraid to compete you. They don't know what to expect, you know, like they don't know if the match is going to be very hard, very easy. And if right when you start, you go really hard, I think they start thinking like, whoa, it's way worse than I thought, you know, like I'm in trouble here. And guys, even if you're just a beginner in Jiu-Jitsu, or if you're blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, I think you can still apply that. Because when you go compete a tournament, especially a small tournament, everybody is afraid from each other. You know, like everybody's kind of scared. Everybody's kind of beginners and this and that. So if you start a match and you pull close, you think about what you're gonna do, your opponent start getting very comfortable and this and that, I think they start believing that, okay, I can beat this guy. But the opposite, if you start the match and right away you go after him, you try a double leg, if double leg fails, you pull guard, you try to cross the arm, you try to attack an arm bar and this and that, I think in their mind, they start getting very frustrated, you know, they start feeling like, whoa, I can't beat this guy is way better than me, like in 30 seconds he did this, this and this. Guys, I used this in my career. And my strategy was like, I had my half guard that was very good, right? So in my mind, I was like, first I'm going to try a double leg. If double leg works great, I'm going to connect to the over-under. If double leg fails, I'm going to pull half guard. I'm going to grab the lapel. I'm going to try to do the single leg. So I'm going to keep attacking. And they will probably think like, whoa, Bernardo is way better than I thought. And guys, this was kind of like a psychological game changing in my career. And I think it's definitely worth for everybody to use it. And again, I'm going to go back to the very beginning of the video here. I remember when I was starting Jiu-Jitsu, I was always looking up to the people who were winning. And besides their Jiu-Jitsu, I was always trying to understand how they think, you know, like many times I would talk to them and ask a bunch of questions just to understand how the mental game works. Because I think in Jiu-Jitsu, the mental game is just as important as the technique, as the conditioning, and as everything else. I see the very best guys competing, and if you analyze their mental game, like Jorge Gracie, Marcelo Garcia, Gordon Ryan, Nicolas Meregali, Buchecha, I mean, all these guys, like they're just as good mentally as they are with their jiu-jitsu, with their techniques, with their conditioning. And I think learning these things is really fascinating, and you can use on all levels. You know, like if you're a white belt, there's a very high chance that you're competing against someone who has never competed before, and then right after you go after him, you start attacking him. and this and that, and he's gonna feel like, oh my god, competition is way harder than I thought. So guys, really wanted to share this with you guys. It helped a lot in my career. I teach that everywhere I go. Every time someone asks me like, what were the things that you learned from Marcelo? And they're expecting to learn guillotine, that I'm gonna say guillotines, I'm gonna say north-south chokes and that. I learned all of that. But this thing was one of the things that I was like, man, I think I'm never gonna forget this for the rest of my life. And try to pay attention on what Marcelo's competing. Like, he would start the match and he would go after. He would kind of like almost walk like a dinosaur against them and grab the arm, try arm drag, try flying guillotine, all type of stuff that I think like the opponents feels like, whoa, I didn't expect that. Like, Marcelo is way better than I thought. And so again, just wanted to share this with you guys. It's a fascinating story. And I hope this helps your jiu-jitsu. Doesn't matter which level you are. If you're white, blue, purple, brown, black, do jiu-jitsu for hobby, do jiu-jitsu for living, professional, non-professional, wherever you are, I think this is going to work really well. So I hope you guys enjoyed. And guys, we have a lot of instructional videos with Marcelo Garcia at BJJ Fanatics. He's one of the best instructors out there. And make sure to check it out at BJJ Fanatics. All type of subjects like guillotine, guard passing, guard, gi, no gi. So make sure to check it out. Marcelo is a fascinating instructor, just as good as instructor as he's as an athlete. And I think that's about it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you.